Randy Johnson, aka the Big Unit, is one of the best pitchers in baseball history. He and Greg Maddux share a record that no other pitcher has approached. Randy's high-octane fastball, devastating slider, and three-quarters arm slot dominated hitters throughout his 22-year career. His imposing presence standing at 6'10" rattled not just humans, but an unlucky bird as well. He has the second most Cy Youngs in baseball history and led the league in ERA on 4 separate occasions. As he aged, he seemingly got better and better. Mid to late 30s Randy Johnson's run of dominance is something that few pitchers can relate to. After doing so many great position players, it's time to tackle one of the all-time great pitchers, Randy Johnson. Thank you to everyone for the suggestions, and make sure to leave a comment and maybe it'll be featured on a future video. As always, if you enjoy, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. Hit the bell to enable all notifications so you don't miss any future Camp 23 videos. Randall David Johnson was born on September 10, 1963 in Walnut Creek, California, to parents Nolan and Karen. His father was known as Bud and worked as both a police officer and security guard. During Randy's time at Livermore High School, he was a two-sport athlete, excelling in both basketball and baseball. Randy's love for pitching stemmed from watching Vida Blue, an all-time great Oakland A. He was originally drafted by the Atlanta Braves in 1982, but did not sign. He chose to attend college instead, accepting a scholarship to play both basketball and baseball for the University of Southern California, where he was teammates with McGwire. Control problems followed Randy throughout college and into his professional career. After 3 seasons with the Trojans, the Montreal Expos drafted Randy in the second round of the 1985 MLB draft. His first taste of pro ball did not go well. In 27 1/3 innings, he walked 24 batters playing for low A ball. He averaged over 7 walks per 9 throughout the next 2 seasons, but maintained a sub-4 ERA. His biggest strength was an ability to strike hitters out. Unfortunately, he had a temper to go with this incredible gift, which cost him 2 months of the 1988 season after punching a concrete wall. Yikes. Coaches Joe Kerrigan and Rick Williams are credited with his evolution as a ball player and prepared him for the big leagues. Randy made his MLB debut on September 15, 1988, and was the tallest player in MLB history at the time. After a head-on collision during batting practice with Tim Raines, he coined the iconic nickname, Big Unit. In May of 1989, Randy was traded to the Seattle Mariners, where he would spend nearly a decade. He struggled to the tune of a 4.82 ERA combined between the Expos and Mariners. On June 2, 1990, Randy threw the first no-hitter in Mariners history. He struck out 8, but walked 6. The no-hitter was the prime example of his control issues that were responsible for leading the league in walks from 1990 to 1992. He did, however, make his first All-Star team. Nolan Ryan saw a younger version of himself in Randy Johnson and told him that he needed to adjust his mechanics and land on the ball of his foot as opposed to his heel. It gave him better leverage when delivering towards the plate. On Christmas Day in 1992, Randy tragically lost his father to a heart attack. While this was an incredibly challenging thing to go through, this tragedy helped him to view baseball differently. The pressures of the game were now viewed as challenges that would help him grow and improve. In 1993, Johnson flipped the script by reducing the number of walks significantly. It became the second of 4 consecutive seasons that he would lead the league in strikeouts. He reached 300 strikeouts in a single season for the first time of his career. He showcased an ability to go the distance more frequently, with 10 complete games, 3 of which were shutouts. Randy fell 1 win short of becoming a 20-game winner and led the league in strikeouts, hits per 9, and Ks per 9. He finished second in Cy Young voting for this year's performance, behind Jack McDowell. Randy was selected to his second All-Star game in '93. While he'd made great strides to improve his command, John Kruk would tell you his control issues were still around during the 1993 All-Star game. This leads to the unpopular mention that he led the league in hit by pitches in both '92 and '93. In 1993, he did garner MVP votes for the first time of his career. In the strike-shortened season of '94, Randy Johnson led the league in complete games, shutouts, strikeouts, Ks per 9, and FIP. For those who don't know, FIP stands for Fielding Independent Pitching. It's similar to ERA, but focuses on what the pitcher has the most control over, such as strikeouts, walks, hit by pitches, and home runs. He led the league in FIP in both 1994 and 1995, along with being named an All-Star in those same years. Randy's '95 season was his best to date. The American League West Division ended in a tie between the Mariners and Angels. On October 2nd, they played a one-game playoff and Randy took the mound. The Mariners really showed up that night, and Randy pitched a complete game, allowing just 3 hits, 1 walk, and struck out 12. The Mariners won 9-1 and advanced to play the Yankees in the division series. The Mariners fell behind 2-0 to start the series. Johnson pitched Game 3, tossing 7 innings of 2-run ball and earned the win. Just 2 games later, Johnson was back on the mound, pitching 3 innings of relief as the Mariners stormed back from 2 games down to win the series. Randy came away with the win, and the Mariners advanced to play the Indians in the ALCS. In Game 3, Randy pitched 8 innings, only allowing 4 hits and 2 runs, one of which was earned. He came back 4 days later and tossed 7 1/3 innings, but the offense couldn't overcome the 4 runs allowed. Ultimately, the Mariners fell to Cleveland in 6 games. Some highlights from his memorable '95 season include an unreal 18-2 win-loss record, led the league in strikeouts, FIP, WHIP, hits per 9, home runs per 9, and Ks per 9. He was 93% better than league average, according to ERA+, a stat that adjusts for ballpark and league. His 2.48 ERA earned him his first ERA title. He led all American League players with an 8.6 WAR. Randy Johnson was named the Cy Young winner and finished 6th in MVP voting. Upon receiving this award, Randy redirected the spotlight back to his team by saying, "I got an individual award, but this is a team award. Without the success of my teammates, this wouldn't have happened." Randy had major back surgery in 1996 and only pitched in 14 games. Randy made a full recovery in 1997, becoming a 20-game winner for the first time in his career. On June 24, 1997, he had his craziest outing. He pitched a complete game and struck out 19 hitters. Typically, this would result in a win. However, he gave up 11 hits, 4 runs, no walks, but still got the loss. The culprit was the long ball, 2 total, one of which was hit by his former teammate, McGwire, who went 2 for 4 against him. He pitched a staggering 142 pitches that game. He was selected to the All-Star team and once again was up to his old control shenanigans, which startled his former teammate, Larry Walker, causing him to pick up switch hitting mid-at-bat. Make sure to check out my Larry Walker video. The Mariners would go on to win the division and match up with the Orioles in the division series. Johnson and the Mariners struggled and fell to the O's in 4 games. Randy placed 11th in MVP voting and finished runner-up for the Cy Young, behind Roger Clemens. Randy's free agency was looming following his '98 season, which provoked trade speculation. Because of the constant trade rumors, it may have hindered his performance on the mound in the first half of his '98 season. At the trade deadline, the Houston Astros were leading their division by 3.5 games and in search of reinforcements. The Astros acquired Randy, and he added to their already successful team that would go on to win 102 ball games and finish atop the National League Central Division. Once he suited up for Houston, things started to click. In 11 starts, he won 10 of them, throwing 4 complete game shutouts. His 322 ERA plus as an Astro in '98 is otherworldly. He went from a league average arm with the Mariners to a player more than 200% above league average production. For as great a rotation as Houston had, the lack of offense led to a shocking exit in the first round, losing to the San Diego Padres in 4 games. Randy pitched outstanding in the series, posting a 1.93 ERA, but still came away with 2 losses. Following the completion of the '98 season, Randy was now a free agent for the first time and signed a 4-year, $52 million contract with the Arizona Diamondbacks in December. In his first season with the Snakes, Randy took his game to the next level. By the end of the '99 season, he would join elite company. During a bench-clearing altercation between the D-backs and Giants, Randy hilariously put on the wrong hat. Ironically, this was some mild foreshadowing. Following his 6th All-Star appearance that summer, he shut out his former team, the Mariners, on July 20th, striking out 10 with no walks. After the shutout, he continued his dominant '99 regular season. An incredible second half put him atop many major pitching categories, including ERA, games started, complete games, innings pitched, strikeouts, batters faced, ERA+, FIP, Ks per 9, and WAR. His duplicate ERA of 2.48 from the '95 season earned him his 2nd career ERA title. This was his 2nd time with 300 or more strikeouts, and he had a sizable lead among National League pitchers over 2nd place Kevin Brown. who had 143 less strikeouts. A year after finishing at the bottom of the National League West Division, the D-backs won 100 games and the division. Game 1 set the tone for the division series facing the New York Mets. Randy Johnson's outing was derailed in the 9th inning, allowing 3 runs for a total of 7 over 8 1/3. The Diamondbacks would fall to the Mets in 4 games. It was a disappointing ending to an otherwise stellar campaign. He won the National League Cy Young Award, joining Pedro Martinez and Gaylord as the only pitchers to win the Cy Young Award in both leagues at that time. Currently, there are only 6 pitchers who have accomplished this feat. In April of 2000, Randy Johnson threw 3 complete games consecutively. Out of 36 possible innings, Randy pitched 35 2/3 to start the 2000 season. The strong start was an indication of another great year ahead. He made the All-Star team for the 7th time. Around the trade deadline, the Diamondbacks acquired Curt Schilling to form a dynamic duo atop the Diamondbacks rotation. The two couldn't be more different, however, they complemented each other well. On September 10th, 2000, Randy picked up his 3,000th career strikeout. He became the fastest to reach this milestone by both games and innings pitched. The D-backs went on to lose that game, and Randy pointed to a throwing error he made which cost his team. He went on to say, "The outcome of the game takes precedence over anyone's accomplishments." Unfortunately, the Diamondbacks missed out on the postseason, finishing 12 games out at first. Randy's regular season did not go unnoticed. He led the league in games started, complete games, shutouts, strikeouts, ERA+, FIP, Ks per 9, and WAR. This was the 3rd season he finished above 300 strikeouts, besting the NL by 130 Ks and Pedro Martinez for the MLB lead by 63. He finished 17th in MVP voting and was named a back-to-back Cy Young Award winner, his 3rd overall. 2001 was a special year for Randy Johnson and the Diamondbacks. There may not be a more memorable spring training highlight than this one. In a matchup against the San Francisco Giants, Randy threw a pitch that drilled a bird, and it exploded on impact. On May 8th, 2001, Randy Johnson became one of 3 pitchers to strike out 20 in a single game, where they pitched no more than 9 innings. Since then, Max Scherzer is the only player to duplicate this. The night that Randy struck out 20, he was given a no decision after leaving the game tied in the 10th inning. The D-backs would go on to win in extras. He made the All-Star team for his 8th appearance. On July 19th, 2001, Randy took the ball in the 3rd inning of a suspended game against the Padres. Curt Schilling had pitched the first 2 innings the night before, but the game was suspended when an electrical explosion knocked out the lights in left field. Randy went on to pitch 7 innings, allowing just 1 hit, 1 walk, and striking out 16, breaking an 88-year-old record set by Walter Johnson in 1913 for most strikeouts in a relief appearance. The next month, Randy Johnson accomplished something that few pitchers have. He threw an immaculate inning, striking out 3 hitters on 9 pitches. For the year, he notched a career-high 372 Ks in 2001, the 3rd highest single-season total in the modern era, behind Nolan Ryan's 383 in 1973 and Sandy Koufax's 382 in 1965. The Diamondbacks narrowly edged out the Giants for the National League West Division and were tasked with facing the Cardinals in the division series. Randy Johnson pitched well in his lone start, but was handed a loss in Game 2. Curt Schilling, on the other hand, pitched 2 complete games, one being a shutout, winning both games by 1 run. The D-backs took the series in 5 games and advanced to play the Atlanta Braves. It was now Randy's turn to step up and deliver. In 2 starts, Randy threw a complete game shutout in Game 1 and 7 innings of 2-run ball in the deciding Game 5. The Diamondbacks were going to the World Series only 4 years into being a franchise. If you thought Randy was electric in the NLCS, let's see how he did facing the Yankees in the World Series. Baseball's biggest stage proved to be where he elevated his game to the highest level. In Game 2, he shut out the Yanks in Arizona, striking out 11 and allowing just 4 base runners. Game 6 ended in a blowout, with the Diamondbacks scoring 15 runs and Randy Johnson pitching 7 innings of 2-run ball. The next day, the winner-take-all Game 7 was set to take place in Arizona, and Randy entered the game at the beginning of the 8th inning. His team trailed by a single run. He retired 4 consecutive hitters to send the game to the bottom of the 9th. With their backs against the wall, facing the greatest closer of all time, Mariano Rivera, they rallied to set up a bases-loaded situation with only 1 out. Luis Gonzalez blew up the walk-off single to win the World Series, making the Diamondbacks the fastest expansion team to win it. Randy Johnson and Curt Schilling were named co-MVPs of the series. These two not only shared this honor, but would finish 1 and 2 in National League Cy Young voting. The fourth award for Johnson was his third consecutive. In addition, he finished 11th in MVP voting. He won his third ERA title, was a 20-game winner for the second time, and led the league in strikeouts, ERA+, FIP, WHIP, hits per 9, and Ks per 9. His 13.4 Ks per 9 were a single-season record at the time. His 10.1 WAR led the league and was his first of 2 seasons in a row with a WAR above 10. In 2002, the reigning World Series champs were poised to make another run at winning it all. They finished atop their division, and Randy Johnson was in the middle of his 5th Cy Young season. Randy and the Diamondbacks had a tough NLDS and were swept by the Cardinals. Randy Johnson became one of just 2 pitchers in baseball history to win 4 consecutive Cy Young awards. The other is Greg Maddux, and no pitcher has even won 3 straight besides Maddux and Johnson. 2002 was Randy's 9th All-Star appearance, and he had arguably his best season yet. The pitching triple crown is earned by leading your respective league in wins, ERA, and strikeouts. With 24 wins, a 2.32 ERA, and 334 strikeouts, Randy earned this distinction for the one and only time in his career. This year capped Randy's run of 5 consecutive seasons with 300 or more Ks, an MLB record. In total, he reached the threshold 6 times in a single season, tied with Nolan Ryan for the most all-time. No other pitcher has more than 3 besides Nolan and Randy. In 2003, Randy Johnson signed a 2-year, $33 million contract extension with the Diamondbacks, taking him through the 2005 season. A knee surgery early in the 2003 season caused him to appear in just 18 games, and the results were not up to his standards. However, Randy did hit the one and only home run of his career on September 19, 2003. 2004 was a bounce-back year for Randy Johnson. The 40-year-old big unit was a Cy Young contender once again. On May 18, 2004, Randy achieved the pinnacle of success for a pitcher by throwing a perfect game against the Braves. He struck out 13 on 117 pitches. He became the oldest pitcher by over 3 years to achieve this. The second oldest was Cy Young himself in 1904, 100 years apart. On June 29, 2004, Randy struck out the 4,000th hitter of his career. He made his 10th and final All-Star appearance. The Diamondbacks' last place season potentially cost Randy Johnson his 6th Cy Young Award, as the winner Roger Clemens pitched for an Astros team that made it to the championship series. Before the 2005 season, Randy Johnson was traded to the Yankees. His 2-year tenure in New York was average. On August 14, 2006, he reached 4,500 career strikeouts. He underwent back surgery in the offseason and returned to the Diamondbacks via trade before the 2007 season. Recovery proved challenging, and it limited him to just 10 starts in 2007. At 44 years old, Randy Johnson played his last season for the Diamondbacks. He started 30 games, and on June 3, 2008, he moved into second on the all-time strikeout leaderboard, passing Roger Clemens. A month later, Randy Johnson became the first MLB player to strike out 2,000 batters with 2 different teams. In 2009, Randy's blooper from a decade earlier, when he put on the wrong hat, became a reality when he signed with the San Francisco Giants. On June 4, 2009, Randy Johnson joined the exclusive 300-win club. Currently, there are just 24 members with this career achievement. Randy Johnson announced his retirement following the 2009 season. For his career, he accumulated a 101.1 WAR, 303 wins, a 3.29 ERA, 4,135 innings pitched, 4,875 strikeouts, and 100 complete games, 37 of those being shutouts. At the time of his retirement, Randy's career 10.6 Ks per 9 ranked number 1 for starting pitchers. He finished second on the all-time strikeout leaderboard, only behind Nolan Ryan, an interesting connection for someone who gave instrumental advice that put Randy on the path to greatness. In retirement, Randy was able to spend more time with his family and pursued his passion for photojournalism. Over the years, he has supported many charities, primarily ones that benefit cystic fibrosis. Through fundraising efforts, he's helped raise over $1 million. In 2015, Randy Johnson was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame, receiving 97% of the votes. Randy is second all-time in Cy Young awards, only behind Roger Clemens with 7. Once the control issues were resolved, he was locked in and dominant for the remainder of his lengthy career. The accolades seem endless, but are well-deserved. A 10-time All-Star, 9-time strikeout leader, 5 Cy Young awards, 4 ERA titles, a Triple Crown, and the 2001 World Series title, where he was named a co-MVP. Randy Johnson was one of the greatest pitchers this game has ever seen. I believe that he's a player that we're going to be talking about 100 years from now. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on the video. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.